Early in my career, I found myself in a situation where I knew I deserved a raise. It did not go as planned, to say the least. As a matter of fact, it changed the trajectory of my life. Here are a few things to definitely avoid during that negotiation meeting. Early in my career, I found myself in a situation where I knew I deserved a raise. It did not go as planned, to say the least. As a matter of fact, it changed the trajectory of my life. You're listening to Priceless Tay, and we're here to combat financial literacy, ensuring young people financially thrive, not just survive. Today, we're diving into a topic that's absolutely crucial for anyone entering the workforce: salary negotiation. Whether you're just about to accept your first job or looking to get that well deserved raise, negotiating your salary can feel daunting and super scary. I've been there before, but don't worry. I'm here to guide you through it with the proven strategies to help you succeed. And finally, I'll be sharing my personal experiences of do's and don'ts that come with asking for a raise. You can find us on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and LinkedIn at Priceless Tay. For everything we talk about in this episode, go to pricelesstay.com/5. That's pricelesstay.com/5. Enjoy the show. So let's kick things off with a personal story. Early in my career, I found myself in a situation where I knew I deserved a raise. I had outperformed all of my KPIs. I wrote that shit down, taken on tasks outside of my job description that I was provided, and really made a monumental impact within the company. So I decided to ask for a raise. I prepared thoroughly, came to the meeting with all the validating points, and it did not go as planned, to say the least. As a matter of fact, it changed the trajectory of my life. I did not get that raise, and it definitely left a bit of a sour taste in my mouth. But you know what? I felt really great asking about that raise for myself. I showed up for myself, and that's what really matters. This experience totally taught me the importance of believing in my own worth and not being afraid to ask for what I deserve. That brings us to our first key point. Stay tuned after the break. Summer is upon us, and it's about to be the best one yet. Why? Because this summer, you're feeling yourself and are ready to be a freak in the sheets. A freak in the sheets, Tay? Are you serious? I know you're absolutely dying to be a freak in the sheets this summer. And that's why I present to you Priceless Tay's budget template. Get down and dirty in the sheets. Go from broke to bougie. And take control of your money instead of it controlling you this summer. Go to pricelesstay.com/budget template to learn more. Check it out. All right, Priceless Pack, let's talk about preparation. Now, I know the thought of negotiating your salary can make your palms sweat. Like, if you know me, they get cold and clammy, and it's always been that way. And maybe your heart begins to race, but trust me, it's all about the prep work. Think of it like getting ready for a big game. You wouldn't just roll out of bed and show up. You'd train, you'd strategize, and you'd know your plays. The same goes for salary negotiations. And by the way, when we're talking about plays, there's a playbook. It's not just a play, a Hail Mary. No, 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 no. So, first things first, you need to walk into that conversation armed with a clear understanding of your worth and the market value for someone with your skills and experience. I want you to picture it like this: you're a diamond, but you need to know exactly how much you're worth before you can sell yourself at the right price. Start by taking an honest inventory of your strengths and the unique value that you bring to the table. What makes you Well, maybe you have a knack for creative problem solving, or perhaps you led a project that skyrocketed your team's productivity or got them accolades, something along those lines that wasn't necessarily in the talk track to begin with, but you way outperformed, showed you shine like a diamond. I want you to list out your accomplishments and the specialized expertise that sets you apart. What are your superpowers and how did they make literally you the perfect fit for the role? And I want to note something here as well too, in that when you're writing this down, think about how your skills align with one another. Like what makes you irreplaceable? It sounds crazy because I believe a lot of people are replaceable, and it's just a matter of time before you can train somebody to then become that person again. They might not have the same personality or culture fit, whatever. But talking about skills and experiences, if you have, for example, my scenario, let's talk about me for a moment. If you have personal finance, education skills, you're a money expert, you're also a marketing genius, you really are great at editing, creative ideation. You have skills in Canva and design and no branding, tone of voice, brand strategy. You know how to read marketing data analytics. You know how to run paid ads. You know how to do organic ads, things like that. Like that would make you or me more incentivized at maybe, let's say, a fintech company or a small credit union who doesn't necessarily know yet about social media, but they're willing to try out social media from somebody who has expertise not only in social media, but in finance, what they're talking about as well, which is really important. Once you've got that strength down, it's time to hit the books, or in this case, nowadays, the internet. Research the typical salary ranges for your role, experience level, and geographic location. Use authoritative sources like compensation surveys, Glassdoor, Indeed, or LinkedIn Salary Insights is an underrated one that I like to go to and check out sometimes. This is where you get to channel your inner detective. And I know some of you are really good out there to do that. The goal here really is to find a realistic baseline to determine an appropriate target salary. You want to aim high but stay grounded. Now that you know your value and have a target salary in mind, it's time to perfect that pitch, baby. Rehearse how you'll articulate, if I could articulate that the first time, your worth during the negotiation. This is where you become your own hype person. Prepare specific examples that demonstrate the return on investment you have offered within the company. For instance, I increased social media engagement by 50%, leading to 20% boost in sales. I increased media engagement X, making us 147 in the App Store. Concentrate metrics, make your case stronger and more compelling. The more you can quantify, not just say like, oh, I'm the boss, I'm so good. The more you can quantify with facts and numbers, the stronger your negotiating position. And don't forget to consider all the factors that increase your market value: your credentials, unique skills, past accomplishments. Think of it as a compelling highlight reel. So when you walk into that negotiation, you'll be ready to play up your best game. Up next, we're diving into some major pitfalls to avoid during your negotiation interview. But first, let's hear a quick word from our sponsors. Ever wonder which credit card is right for you but still have no idea where to start? I've got you covered. I've created a personalized quiz that will tell you exactly which credit card you should check out based on your needs and lifestyle. Just DM us at Priceless Tay with the code WALLET-WINS. That's WALLET wins. WINS, WALLET-WINS, to take the quiz and find your perfect match. As a reminder, you're listening to Priceless Tay, and we're here to combat financial literacy, ensuring young people financially thrive and not just survive. So once you've done your preparation, it's time to put your strategic negotiation skills actually into action. The key here is to avoid simply stating your desired salary number. Instead, you need to justify and persuasively argue why that number is fair and appropriate. Start by framing your ask logistically and rationally. Walk through the market data you compiled, your years of experience, credentials, and the specific value you bring to this role. Build an airtight business case for your proposed compensation, treating it like you would any other professional proposal or recommendation. It's also really crucial to look beyond just the base salary figure. Negotiate the entire compensation package holistically, considering factors like bonuses, stock options, PTO, retirement contributions, other perks. A lot of people think that when you are going into negotiation, it's simply just salary. For a lot of people, that is the end goal. But for some, there is opportunities to also negotiate, for example, remote work versus hybrid work versus in office. Everything is negotiable. Getting a lunch on Fridays is negotiable. A gym membership is negotiable. All these different things. Get clarity on what's included and don't be afraid to get creative with your request. Maybe tuition reimbursement for continued education is more valuable to you than a higher base pay, or perhaps maybe performance incentives or equity could make a lower initial salary more palatable. For the most effective negotiators, they remain flexible and very open minded, but they do have an angle in mind. If the company pushes back on your initial ask, don't get flustered. See if you can find a creative compromise that works for both parties. And if they say that they don't have the budget at this current point in time, or we haven't shown necessarily the points, demonstration, or validity for a raise, that is when you ask okay, what is the plan of action that I need to take in order to get this raise? Or let's have this discussion in a following 6-month period and come up with a game plan here. So, for example, you could accept a lower base salary at the start in exchange for an annual bonus incentive or additional PTO. All right, now that we've covered the essentials of thorough preparation and strategic negotiation, let's move on to the one of the most crucial aspects that can make or break your success: managing your overall approach and demeanor during the salary discussion. This next part is probably one of the most important, I would say, and that's striking the right balance between knowing what you're worth and avoiding these common pitfalls. This is where you need to be a master of balance, persistent yet likable, confident yet humble. Remember, this is your first major interaction with the company as a potential employee, so you'll want to make a stellar impression. First things first, project a positive, enthusiastic attitude about the role and organization. Show them that you're genuinely excited about the job and committed to the company's mission. This isn't just about getting more money, it's about building a long-term, mutually beneficial relationship. And we have a special download for you where if you want that talk track, make sure to go to pricelesstay.com/5. In the show notes, you'll see that download right there, pricelesstay.com/5. Now, imagine you're in an interview and the interviewer asks, "How much are you looking to make?" Pause, 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 pause. Before you blurt out a number like, "I'm looking to make 90 to 100K, hold up. That can signal to the interview that you're currently making less. Instead, something like, "I'm currently interviewing for positions that pay $90,000 to $100,000. This is all in pricelesstay.com/5. You want the talk track? Go and get it. Run. This subtly implies that other companies are considering you for similar roles, creating a sense of demand for your skills and experience. You are selling yourself here. A little graciousness, definitely, and appreciation can go a long way. For example, instead of saying, I need more money, try, I'm really excited about this role and the potential to contribute to the team. I believe a compensation adjustment is in line with the value that I can bring. I came across an amazing video from at Advice with Aaron on TikTok that shows how to handle a lowball offer without coming across as ungrateful, even when the offer isn't really what you expected. It's a bummer, per se. Let's check out the clip.
How to negotiate when a company completely lowballs you, but you don't want to sound ungrateful, you just need more money.
Hey, congrats! We'd love to offer you the job. I just sent you the offer letter. How does $52,000 a year sound?
Are you kidding me? That's it? Oh man, I was hoping for something higher than I'm currently making because my student loan repayments just started and living in the city is really expensive. Am I allowed to negotiate this? Yay! First of all, thank you so much for the offer. I'm so thrilled and flattered you'd like me to join the team. However, after reading the offer letter in full, I unfortunately can't accept as is. The offer is much lower than I was expecting, and although I'd love to say yes right now, for this specific role, I'll need an annual compensation of at least $62,000 to move forward. Are you able to help me get there?
I understand. Let me review with the team and we'll get back to you on that. Hi, so the team said that we can do $60,000 but with a $2,000 sign-on bonus. Does that work?
Yes, that works. Thank you so much for looking into that for me. Feel free to send over the updated offer letter and I'll have that signed for you ASAP. You got this, and follow for more.
While being positive is important, you also need to be firm and persistent in pursuing fair compensation. Don't get deterred or immediately cave if the employer pushes back on your initial proposal. Try not to cry. I know it's hard. Try not to cry. Continue calmly reinforcing the market data and value you bring. Use phrases like, based on my research and experience, I believe this number accurately reflects my market value, rather than sounding confrontational with statements like, I deserve more money. Here are a few things to definitely avoid during that negotiation meeting. Don't say, I think I should be paid more. Instead, be specific. Avoid vague language. For example, based on industry experts and my unique skill set, I believe a salary of X is appropriate. Do not get defensive. If they question your request, avoid saying things like, but I really need the money for XYZ. Bringing up personal circumstances like paying for schools, bills, or rent comes across as extremely unprofessional. And at the end of the day, your employer doesn't factor really that in their decision. And I'm a walking testimonial of that. If they think that you are also struggling at home, depending on the employer, they might just cut you. So make sure to be cognizant of that as well, if that's a point that you do decide to bring up. Instead, calmly explain, I understand your position. Here are some metrics that highlight the value I can bring. Never say, I am sorry. This is something that my soccer coach back in high school would always tell me because I really wasn't the best player at all. And anytime that I missed the ball, I would always say, like, sorry. He just said, stop saying sorry. Just like, stop. And it's not that big of a deal. And so I really stopped saying sorry for a lot of the micro mishaps. So never say sorry if you get an offer that doesn't meet your expectation. Or the last thing you want to say is I'm sorry, but that salary doesn't meet my expectations. Apologizing during salary negotiation can make you appear unconfident and unsure of your worth, weakening your negotiation stance. I want you to also stay away from ultimatums. Phrases like, if you don't meet my number, I'll walk, are a good no-go. Instead, say, I'm really interested in finding a middle ground that works for both of us. Again, I've been in the same exact circumstance. Your employer might start getting defensive where they might say that first part, but making sure and reassuring that you're saying, I'm here for the team, I'm with the team. I'd love to find a middle ground to make this both work for us. Tries to bring that little more assuring feel to some difficult conversations. No comparisons to colleagues. Never say, but so and so makes this much. Focus on your own value statements like, my contributions to this team have included X, Y, and Z, which I believe justify this salary. The last thing that you want to do is throw somebody under a bus and then they come up in conversation and they might have performed something else which you were unaware of. This conversation really is about you and your needs and your worth, not those that really are around you, unless it's doing the same exact thing, discriminatory practices in the workplace type, then conversation. I want you to remember that negotiation is a conversation, not a conflict. Be prepared to directly address any challenging questions or objections, like whether you have other offers on the table, but do so matter-of-factly and transparently. Remember, I said this is like literally a playbook. Like if you're thinking about the NFL and football, they have many, many, many different plays like on their wrist, I think the quarterback has it on. You kind of need to have like the same thing, like a playbook that you can kind of like go through, rehearse, so that you aren't really dumbfounded or stumbled and you are in there, wow, that person does deserve a raise. Showing that you're good at negotiating in good faith as well too, with the intention of finding a win-win solution, is key. By striking the right balance in your approach, you'll come across as professional, confident, and collaborative, all qualities that make you even more as attractive as a candidate. So now you know exactly what phrases you can use in your interview that bring us to another crucial aspect in your negotiation: understanding their culture and salary structure. This is where you need to become a bit of a detective and a chameleon all rolled into kind of one. You've got to understand the company's typical salary structure and the overall culture, then tailor those approaches to resonate best with the individuals you're actually negotiating with. So, for example, my family owns a small industrial uniform rental company, and I was a manager there back in the day. I read all these managerial books, trying to soak up every single bit of wisdom I could. One theory that really struck out to me was this: if you give someone a raise and they're not really passionate about the job, it's not going to make them perform better. In fact, they might actually start slacking off and expect even more money later on. I definitely saw this play out in the company. We handed out raises, but at the end of the day, nothing really changed. It really taught me that money isn't the only motivator, and sometimes it's not even the best one. So, getting to the point here, when you're negotiating a raise or a new salary, keep in mind that the company might have similar perspectives. They're not just handing out money for fun, they're looking for a return on their investment in you, not just your skills, but the value and company culture that you add to the whole overall environment. Be prepared to discuss how your continued development and performance align with their goals. Show them that you're not just asking for more money, but also thinking about how you can grow with the company and contribute to its success. Because at the end of the day, if you grow, they grow. It's a win-win situation, and employers love that. Here's how you can make this part of your negotiation entertaining and engaging for yourself and the interviewer. I want you to do your homework and dig into the company culture. Are they big on teamwork and innovation? Do they value continuing education? Use this information to frame your negotiation. For example, I noticed that company places a high value on continuous learning. I'm eager to take advanced courses that can further benefit my role here, and I'd love to discuss how we can incorporate this into my compensation package. I want you to be the team player. Emphasize how your growth benefits the company. By investing in my professional development, I can bring new skills and insights that will help us achieve our team goals. I love that one. Use antidotes. Just like my story about our company, share these relevant antidotes that highlight your understanding of the company's values and how you align with them. In my last role, I saw firsthand how focusing on personal growth can drive team success. I'm excited to bring that same energy here. Get creative. Suggest non-monetary benefits that align with the company's culture. I'm very passionate about work-life balance and notice that company encourages flexible working hours. Could we explore options for remote work or additional PTO as part of my package? So by adapting your approach to fit the company's context, you not only show that you're prepared and professional, but also that you're genuinely interested in a long-term, mutually beneficial relationship. And remember, negotiating is not just about getting what you want, but also showing that you're worth the value, that you're valuable, forward-thinking, and this great addition to the team. Above all, you need to negotiate with confidence. I know, easier said than done, right? But here's the thing. Confidence comes from truly understanding and internalizing your professional worth. And when I was asking for a raise, I definitely had to get that internal confidence from friends and family as well too, because me coming off as a seemingly confident person, there's just some things that might shake you. And having in that internalization of your professional worth, you got to shake off that self-doubt and walk into that room knowing you bring serious value to the table instead of approaching it as a dog with a tail in between its legs. So first, be prepared to persuasively justify your counteroffer with solid facts and data. And here's a pro tip. It's not just about the salary. You can negotiate many aspects of your employment terms. Think about what will make you happiest and most productive in your role. Maybe it's remote work options, PTO, additional education benefits, or like I said, even gym memberships. Be creative and let's be real. Sometimes the negotiation won't go your way or our way, and that's okay. Don't get discouraged. There is a path for you that is being created, and I have to say, every negotiation is most definitely a learning experience that prepares you for the next one, because don't believe that you're just going to be doing one in your life. There are so many other things that you will be negotiating, perhaps a Facebook marketplace find. Remember how I told you about my first big ask that really didn't result in a raise? Sure, it stung definitely at the moment, but it gave me invaluable experience and confidence. And sometimes I even think about that as I'm going on national television, for example, and be like, I'm just speaking in front of a camera right now. I was speaking in front of basically a team asking for this when it was just, it was a lot. So anyway, that's it for today. See you next week. Thanks for listening to Priceless Tay. Be sure to like, subscribe, and give us a review wherever you listen to the podcast. And share this with a girly, broski, or a homie. You can find us on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and LinkedIn at Priceless Tay. I've been told our OF is great. So sign up for our newsletter, Only Finance, on pricelesstay.com. While you're there, check out our free guides and articles for more ways to financially thrive and not just survive. If you'd like to ask us about your personal finances, whether that's diving deep into the sheets or advice on a money story, leave us a voice memo, contact@pricelesstay.com, or go to pricelesstay.com/ask-pricelesstay. Was it good for you? Email us feedback@pricelesstay.com.